What is considered as an overstay? So this is so important. I say it over and over again, but I still need to explain it, right? So an overstay is once you have entered the US on a certain status, you are allotted a certain amount of time in which you can legally stay in the country. For example, if you enter the country on a B1, B2 visitor's visa, you get an I-94 stamp, and it will tell you that this is how long you are allowed to stay in the US. Regardless if that visa is valid for 5 or 10 years, you have 6 months. Once you stay beyond that 6 months without filing an extension or changing your status or going to another visa, you are now accruing unlawful presence, meaning you are now here illegally. Even if you are a student and you came into the country on a student visa, and that student visa lasts for 4 or 5 years, but you are no longer in school or you fell below the requisite credits in which you agreed to, you have now overstayed. If you entered on an H-2B visa and you no longer work for that employer, right? The minute you stop working for the employer that petitioned for you, even though that visa, that H-2B visa may last 9 months, once you stop working for that employer, you have no overstayed because you no longer have that status, right? So the biggest thing with the overstay that I say to everyone is that once you overstay and you are accruing unlawful presence, your options to transition to another visa becomes significantly reduced. Once you have overstayed, it is challenging and almost impossible in some instances to transition to other type of visas, such as a student visa, such as an investment, such as a work visa, such as a religious visa. And what that overstay does to you is that it limits your options while in the US. It limits to, now you have to either adjust your status through a spouse or through a US citizen child that's 21 years or older, or asylum if you're still within the 1 year period. So the overstay is really important for you to be aware of when your status ends, when your stay has ended. You need to know that date so that you can make preparations, either leaving the country or file an extension of the stay or finding some other option or strategy. So careful when you overstay because the options are now